Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to another devlog. Today we're gonna continue working on the intro level. Yeah, let's just jump right in. We will begin by creating the clouds at the end of the level. I was thinking about creating a shader for this for performance, but I ended up going for the shuriken particle system. I will come back to this in the future and optimize it because as of right now, it does drop some frames a little bit. Next, I decided to create a new shader using the amazing tool available on the universal render pipeline known as ShaderCraft. As of right now, it's just a noise scrolling. I will come back to this later to make it look more ethereal. Now, I wanted to give the player some feedback for when they use the anti-gravity ability, so I created a little circle particle that will be created whenever you use this ability. I had an idea to simulate bouncing and increasing the difficulty of the game even more. So the player cocoon now has two new objects, a head and a butt, each containing a sphere collider and a cocoon trigger terrain script I created. This script is really simple. Whenever the trigger collider collides with the terrain and the velocity of the player is higher than a certain value, we push the player upwards using the current speed of the player. So basically, the faster you're going, the higher you will bounce. Let's check out what it looks like now. The bounce was very subtle there. You could barely notice it because we're going super slow. Looks like a proper egg bouncing to me, right? I felt like the player editor looked pretty boring, so I put in a bit of work here. Added a couple of rugs to make it look more appealing, and this is what it looks like now. You might have noticed this crystal on the player's tail. This will be very important. I am thinking about having different crystals in the game that give you different abilities. So this is the starting crystal, and it's pretty boring looking. I have yet to implement its abilities as well, so I'm gonna go back and work on the cocoon shader a bit more, but first I have to make breakfast, man. I'm fucking starving. Here we are back in Unity, and look at my shader. I worked on it a little bit more and I got it looking somewhat ethereally. Is that even a word? Anyways, also you might have noticed these little shrooms around. I made a shader for them as well, and a little script that creates a particle explosion and pushes you away whenever you touch them. I set up this demo to show you the shader a little bit more, so let's check it out. So it has a noise texture that is always visible moving along the mushroom to give it an ethereal look. I keep saying ethereal mainly because this level is supposed to be up in space, so please bear with me. It also uses the mushroom texture to create a glowing effect over time. Now when you get close to it, the glowing effect intensifies and the vertices closest to the colliding object get pushed downwards. It's really satisfying playing around with it. And let's enable gravity on this sphere. Alright. Enough playing around. As of right now, only these three have the scripts and shaders, and so I have to create more prefabs and place them all around the map. So, yep.
Job's done.
I have them all around the first part of the level. You might have noticed some big shrooms. I wanted to have bigger shrooms that push you way higher up in the sky. So if you see here, the push force is very low for this little guy, but this guy on the other hand has a higher push force, because he's a big boy, really big boy. Alright, time to create the first enemy. I am calling Tampon. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what I was going for. I had some sketches, just some weird looking creature, and now back in Unity I created their caves. This is where they come from. It's just a bunch of rocks piled up. Then I created a spawn script, very simple stuff. It creates a tampon every certain amount of time, and if another tampon enters this cave, then it gets removed. The AI for the enemy is very simple too. Basically, I'm moving the enemy forward every frame, and when it gets a target, I make him look at the target, and so it chases it. If it has none, then it goes back to its cave. Then I have another script that contains a big trigger collider, and this is what detects the player and assigns it as a tagger. Now I was going to make it so that its eyes change color to red whenever he is chasing us. Let's check out what the caves look like now. I also added post-processing in case you haven't noticed. It was time to create the steam craters. So I used a particle system with a script that whenever the player enters its trigger, he gets pushed upwards. I have lots and lots of scripts that push the player around. Okay, let's try it out. And I fucking missed it. Nice. I'm horrible on my own game. Sick. Okay. And it's pushing you a little bit too high, so I will lower its force and increase the radius so it's easier to use. And place a few more around the map. Alright, it was time to do some level design, so I will see you in a bit. I created the white crypt. This is the plan from where the player falls from. I gave it an idle and a death animation, then imported them into Unity. Check it out. Now I press any key and we out. God, I suck. That is it for this devlog, guys. I am going to leave you with this playthrough. It took me like 7 or 8 tries to make it to the end, but I actually had fun. Like a lot of fun playing it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all on the next devlog. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.